Good morning, friends and unicorns. Today we're going to be talking about the third phrase in my tagline, touch the magic. My full tagline is see the music, hear the colors, touch the magic, and awaken the wonder and worship in your heart. And so today we're going to talk about that third one. I'm just trying to get to know you guys a little bit better and to let you know about me a little bit better so we can find our touch points, our commonalities. And I'd love to hear you comment and let me know more about you in the comments. So I hope you don't mind that I'm using an older format today. It's just that I'm super busy in the studio and I just couldn't get my brain jar around to working on video straight from the studio and live as I was working. So let's talk about this. Why am I using the words touch the magic? This phrase was added last year after I picked up clay again. Yep, I said again. If you've known me long enough, you know that a very long time ago, back in the late 80s and 90s, I was obsessed with clay. Most of you who are watching these videos have not known me that long. The way that I got into clay is a story for another day, but let's just focus on after 30 plus years, I am back. And now that I'm back, I'm just as obsessed as before. It's just that I have other obsessions as well, such as pastel and teaching music. So there's just something about clay that grounds me. That sounds like a play on word, but a play on words, sorry, but it really does. And I think if you talk to other potters, you will find they say similar things. There's just something about handling earth and water and forming it and knowing that with the help of air and fire, I can turn it into something that's solid and beautiful and useful. And it just gives me a grounded foundational feeling that I can't really explain in words. It feels like a gift from God to let me feel a tiny bit of how He felt forming the air and the earth and fire and making a man from that same earth. But some of you are a little bugged about that word magic. So I want to address that. So let's interrupt our regularly scheduled program and talk about the word magic and how I use it. Because you've heard me say magical freaking unicorn, and you've heard me say divine magic and how I invite you into that, and I want to make positively certain you understand what that means. So if that word brings to mind spells and drawings on the floor or dirt and candles or cauldrons or dancing naked in the moonlight, stop. Some things you can't unsee, so don't imagine that. Allow me to assure you that we are not talking about that kind of magic. First of all, that's magic that tries to take control where we should not have control, to take over where God is sovereign and most powerful and deserves far beyond us to be in control. So, plus, secondly, it's not real. So let's don't even go there. We're not talking about that. If when I say the word magic or divine magic, it brings to mind things like the miracles of the Bible, or perhaps you're familiar with the Narnia books and the deep magic that drives that story. The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. then you're more on the right track. There is a deeper divine power that is wielded by God the Creator and King of Kings, and He allows us to participate in it while at the same time not controlling it. And that is the kind of magic that I want to be part of. I believe it's an incredible blessing of creativity that is a gift from Him. And I want that for you. I want to invite you into that. I'm in it. I'm creating and loving it. I have a deeper connection with Him because of it. I see more colors. I see more delightful things that prove the workings of God. And that is what I want for you. So I hope that helps you breathe a little bit easier about that sometimes controversial word, magic. If we had another word for that in English that gave the same feeling when we use it, I would use that. But there are words that don't work there. Words like enchantment. Enchantment means you're not yourself. And yet, in Christ, we are more ourselves than we are without Him. So I just can't come up with another word that means the same thing. So if you're worried about that word magic, I think that you can breathe easy and go ahead and use it in a way that means something that glorifies God rather than something that glorifies self. So back to our regularly scheduled program. Really, there's not much more to that because it kind of is what it means to touch the magic. Whenever I'm building with clay, I feel like I'm touching magic. I'm touching divine magic. Without God having created clay, I would not be able to work with clay. And to work with it means that I'm experiencing a little bit of what He has experienced in creating the world and us. However, I do have one more thing to add, and that is that if you've given these three phrases any thought outside of reading or listening to the blog, you've already figured out maybe one very important point about them, and that is that they easily cross between each other, just like the senses overlap in the phrases themselves, just like the senses overlap. So do the actualities of those phrases. So you actually can see music in a very human way. Just open any piece of sheet music and you're seeing music. Whether you comprehend it or not, it's another thing, but you see music. So when I'm teaching my students, I'm really teaching them how to see music. Many advanced musicians look at musical scores and can hear the music in their heads. They don't have to actually have instruments playing them to be able to hear it. Hearing colors we've already discussed. We use that kind of language to talk about colors. So when I put some
fluorescent green into a painting, and we say that's a very loud green, then there will be a color. Apparently, we're hearing it because we don't have a word for seeing that color get work, so we use a hearing word for it. And then cartoon magic can happen. Making your cartoon a musical instrument, or maybe when you're holding a pumpkin or a paintbrush. And of course, molding clay. It's the crossover if you just sit there and think about it. Like go on and on. So, that is the main three phrases of my tagline. Fourth phrase, to consider next week. It's the longest phrase and what it means. What would you like to discuss? Please feel free to brainstorm at these questions in the comments. That we think we talked about so far, or anything that you've seen on the screen. It really does help for me to hear from you, because one of my goals in the blog and the vlog is to let you get to know me a little bit more about myself, for me to connect with you, get to know you a bit more. And I can't get ready for you to talk to me, so I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Oh my goodness. And as you can see, I'm working on bowl above. I've been working like a person in the studio. As I mentioned last week, I had the main scheduled all coming up together I'm excited that I don't have enough inventory. Creative goals more faster than paintings for me. So, making clay rather than paintings makes sense right here. And the fact that I'm just really enjoying it. I started this goal actually as a project for really for the family members, because I had that goal of finishing at least one project for each family member this year. In reading, until I got some molds created, I created the molds and I wasn't satisfied with them. So instead of just cleaning back, I also made all this kind of clay. And so when I realized that, I decided to just do something else with these, but making a bowl was not out of the possible options. So I decided to just finish this one. So anyways, I really enjoyed this type of putting together things in clay. Clay building is my method, so it's flat building, and then of course there's always sculpture and those kinds of things. I really enjoyed making this, and so that one is completed now, and in just a few minutes you'll see the finished video. It's super fun, and it's so good. All the goals in it is a little bit different, as you'll see in just a minute.
see from the video, the studio is buzzing with pots and clay and creativity. It feels very alive and pulsing, and I can hardly keep myself from entering the portal and taking the journey every day. Still, other duties call, and so it must rest a bit for another day while I make blogs and videos and go travel teach and stuff like that. But I do have an announcement or two. Announcement number one, I have a new endeavor in development, and I'll be introducing it in the next few weeks as I'm able. It will be interactive. It will involve you personally and in person. It will involve Zoom meetings, and it will involve art. So be ready, be watching and listening for the announcement. Announcement number two. I am officially one of the featured artists for the March Engage Art Bible Cluster on March 28th at 8 p.m. Central. If you'd like an invitation, let me know. You can attend by Zoom, or you can view and participate in comments on Facebook, link below. I will also be praying during the Friday Live Prayer on Engage Our Art page here at 11 a.m. Central.